You guys know that one part in Fellowship of the Ring where Bilbo and Gandalf are talking over tea and he tells them, I feel like butter scraped over too much bread. That's me this week, guys. I am Bilbo. Hey, what's up, bookworm? Mike back with another weekly update. Things have kind of been crazy this week, but some things that remain constant no matter what is I will continue to find ways to find time to read. So guys, let's do like we usually do this week. Let's start with what am I reading? I'm about 80% through Fall of Hyperion right now. My thoughts right now are it's kind of feeling like it wasn't what I wanted. By no means a bad book. It's just kind of not what I wanted. And I kind of expected this because two reasons. I feel like the first book was amazing. You know, I said it's a top 3 science fiction book all time for me. So, of course, you're going to have very, very high expectations. But people had told me, it's very different. What I didn't expect is what's different in it, and I won't ruin that for you here. When I do a full review for Fall of Hyperion, I'll talk about that there. But let's just say with 20% left, yeah, it's not going to be as good as the first. But I mean, sequels rarely are, right, guys? But as far as how I'll rate it overall, remains to be seen. But right now, I'm very frustrated with a certain storytelling device that he's decided to use in this book. And I knew it wasn't going to be, Canterbury Tales style again. It's just some character decisions that I've been kind of like, that's not really what I was hoping for. But again, I've talked about this on the Discord, and I've had some people be like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to read it now. No. As always, guys, I want you guys to make up your own mind on these things. This is something that I didn't really particularly care for. But again, I am by no means saying it is a bad book or a book that you should skip, okay? But again, we'll get into that when we get a little further along and get into that review. What else did I read this week, guys? Well, if you watched the live stream, you know I did decide to finally do this. Now, guys, I want to address the elephant in the room that Kentaro Miura, I've always said Miura, did pass away. And this is actually something that I planned. I mean, obviously, this news broke today. Apparently, I guess he did pass away like I've been hearing like a week or 2 weeks ago, and it's just now getting out. I don't know if that's true or what the deal is with it. But that's not why I decided to do this. I decided to do this because you guys always asked me to do it, and two viewers sent me the first volume, and so I felt like, sure, why not? I can do that. Reading a manga, it doesn't take that long, really, but this is my very first, and I have things that I want to talk about with it. I guess I can kind of go ahead and tell you that I was planning a surprise video. I was planning to do a why I decided to read on Berserk. Obviously, with this tragic news, I've decided I'm going to hold off on that because I don't want to be one of those channels who tries to capitalize on a tragedy and do a video like that. Think, oh, I'm going to get a bunch of traffic or whatever. I'm still going to do that video. I am. But it's going to be delayed for a little bit. There's someone on the Discord that I respect his opinion on things when it comes to manga. And I asked him if he thought that it would be, uncouth to do that video right now. He kind of agreed with me that, it should still be done, but let's wait a little bit. So that will be coming because I've had people say, hey, you're going to be reviewing that. I don't know necessarily that I want to be reviewing these because that isn't really the content that I do on this channel, comics and anime and manga and stuff like that. But I do have thoughts that I want to talk about. I want to talk about why I wanted to read this because I think it's interesting from an outside perspective, seeing someone who has never read manga, seeing their experience firsthand. But as far as this actual book here, I'm actually finished this and I picked up some more on digital because they are much cheaper on digital than getting those physical copies. I am right up before starting that golden age arc that everybody carries on about, but I've been pleasantly surprised. I figured I would like it because I mean, guys, this is legendary. People who don't read manga have heard of Berserk. They've heard of Kentaro Miura. I mean, like I said, even if I didn't start reading this week and I'd heard he passed away, I knew who that was. I knew that name. It's just his name was that big. I mean, he was like the guy for manga, at least here in the States. He really was. And he apparently, his work touched a lot of people's lives. So I want to kind of look at this now as a tribute read. So when I do actually get to that video, I'll talk about it a little more in depth. But I am enjoying it up to this point, about almost done with volume 3 right now. So that is it for what I'm reading. Let's go ahead and move into what am I going to read, guys. I am going to be starting Persepolis as soon as I finish Fall of Hyperion. That is the last Raya Revelations book, and I'm going to be talking to Michael J. Sullivan probably. We're probably going to record our conversation this week, but the video isn't going to be coming out right away. I want to do a why you should read on Raya before that video comes out, but it will all be coming here in the next couple of weeks as I try to get stuff done before I leave for vacation here in early June. But I'm very, very excited to get into this because, I mean, Raya is a great, great series, and I'm going to be finishing off this first real arc here, and I'm excited about it, but also a little bittersweet because I know it's going to be the end of the journey for my two gentlemen there, Royce and Hadrian. I knew that they do have standalone adventures that take place in a prequel series, but as far as this part of the story is going to be coming to a close, but I'm excited about it. But it's always that little bit of a bittersweet edge. I have no idea what to expect. I thought that Wintertide, that's book 5, was just phenomenal, so I'm not expecting him to drop the ball here at the end. I am very, very confident that I'm going to have a very satisfactory ending. And then, guys, will be on to the next book in the Michael Crichton read-along. That is Congo. I'm trying to get Congo in. It is the read-along book for June, but I'm trying to get it in before June the 1st because, as you guys know, June the 1st, House of Chains. We're back on the Malazan, and then obviously more Berserk. I'm just going to kind of fill Berserk in there whenever I've got time or whenever I don't feel like reading anything super heavy, because you can read, I mean, guys, you don't know if you've read manga. It's not like American comics where there's the text bubbles are huge and then the pictures are small. There's just, I mean, every other page is like a splash page in there. And I don't know if that's something that keeps up, but literally I read like that first volume in one sitting. It's not really a heavy read, so I will continue to kind of pilfer those in as I go along. And someone's asked me, are you upset that you're not going to be finished? I mean, sure, any story that's not finished, but I feel like, it was an ongoing comic for, I mean, what are these, like 40 or 50 volumes of these things? I'm sure I'll have plenty of satisfying arcs along the way. So there we go. I might go back and look at this and be like, God damn it, But we'll see. Let's talk about this week on the channel. Now, guys, I don't like to talk about the virus that shall not be named on here because I don't like to get, flagged by our YouTube overlords here. But I did have what I called death by Pfizer this week. I did get my second vaccination shot, and it did completely kick my ass, guys. It completely wiped me out. Friday night, I was fine. That was the night I got it. I was okay. Woke up Saturday, felt like I had been out partying all night or something. I was hung over. Really, it's what it felt like. It felt like you were hung over, and then I got like a fever and stuff, and I just felt like recycled dog shit for a day. That's really what it was. And so that Saturday, I didn't get anything done. Usually Saturday, guys, that's when I do all my recording, really, except for the weekly video that I do on Thursday nights. It's just I was completely wiped out. I was hammered, so I didn't get any of my recording done. And then Sunday, we did the live stream. So that was basically recovered me. And then, I talked for 3 hours straight. I didn't really have any energy or the voice left to record my videos tonight. So it's been kind of a slow week, because there's been lots of other things going on. My kid turned 9 this week, and we had his birthday. And then we got the big birthday party coming with his friends and stuff this weekend. So Cub Scouts and all that, guys. Real life just kind of got in the way this week. But the live stream was a lot of fun, as always. I usually say, as long as you guys are continuing to ask me questions, I'll keep talking up to 3 hours. I like to limit it to 3 hours. I feel like after that long, you're starting to just answer some of the same questions over and over again. But talking 3 hours straight without a lot of pauses. We'll do a number on the pipes there. But I had fun, as always. I guess we'll do the next one when/if we hit 50,000, because that was for 45. Like I said, things have slowed down on that subscriber count rate, so I wouldn't be expecting that before this summer or something like that, or probably late summer, if not the fall. We'll see. We'll see, guys. I don't even know how to track this stuff anymore. It's so just erratic with the trend lines. But we'll get into that when we get into like the monthly close down. Then I went back into the multiverse, talked some more Stephen King. This was for the Dark Half. That was a video I didn't expect to get a lot of traffic because even among King fans, that's one of his lesser talked about books. So, but it was one that I kind of wanted to put a spotlight on because I feel like it is that first big transition in his career. You know, I say his career had the 3 arcs. You know, the original hot streak, and then sobriety is the second arc, and then the third arc is after his automobile accident there, where, well, not really an automobile accident, an accident where an automobile hit him. Then that kind of has been like his third phase of his writing career. So it's a very good transitionary book, I think, and kind of a goodbye to Richard Bachman, so to speak. So I think it's a book that's worth your time. It is in like the lower half of my favorite King books, but still one of the worst Stephen King books is usually better than most authors' best books. So I still recommend reading it. But check that out if you want to know my non-spoiler thoughts there. And then I did what I called a suicide mission. I decided to rank the Cosmere via a tier list. You guys chose a tier list over a standard ranking. And the thing with that is the Sandersonians can be very, very upset if you have actual criticism. But you know, guys, I'm always going to be honest about these things, and I always say these are my opinions. And so I went ahead and made that tier list video, mostly a positive reaction. There are some people that are like, I can't believe you have this over that. I mean, you're always going to get that. That's fine. I mean, you put something like that out there, it's going to happen. You're going to generate discussion like that. But for the most part, I feel like they're pretty positive. A lot of people don't like my Rhythm of War ranking, but I expected that. You know, on the live stream, a lot of people were really surprised that I was so hard on Rhythm of War, and they got me some thumbs downs, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. If that makes people feel like they got the demons out, then hey, I will take one for the team there. But I had fun talking about that universe again. I hadn't talked about the Cosmere since like last November, you know, so it was fun to go back and talk about it a little bit and talk about the things that I really like how Emperor's Soul is still just severely underrated, as is Warbreaker, in my opinion. But I got to talk about some of my more favorite books and some of the ones that, you know, man, maybe they kind of missed the mark a little bit. But again, Brandon Sanderson's a top 5 fantasy author all time for me. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about with that. That was really all I got out this week, guys. I did do a collaboration video with Iskar over on Iskar Jirak. That's he runs a Malazan channel. If you guys know the Malazan channel, he was like the OG on there. It's like it's blown up since, but he was the guy, and he asked me to come on and talk with him about like his about what he calls the first arc, which are books 1 through 3 of Malazan. He was calling that the first arc, and it is a spoiler video. So if you haven't watched or if you haven't read those first 3 books, I would be careful before diving into that. He said it's going up today, Friday. It's going up today. I'll link it when it is live on his page. I don't know what time he's planning to put that up. But when it's live, I will link it, and you can be able to just click the button there, and you should be able to go straight to it. But Iskar, a genuinely great guy, and I'm so happy that he asked me to come on. Him and Philip recently asked me to come on, and I was just kind of brought up to Philip recently. I was like, it seems like no one ever asks me to come on their channel, and I don't know if this is because they think that I won't, or they just don't want me to. So it's nice every once in a while to have someone talk back when you talk to them, you know. So it's always fun to go on other people's channels because I don't have to edit the video. It's really, really great. But a good time was had, and I can't wait to continue to talk to him as I take this trip down Malazan. Let's get into a little bit of next week plans, guys. Let's continue here with Malazan. Since it fell off the schedule this week, I will be doing my Memories of Ice review hopefully this weekend and get it out early next week. Don't have a lot to add, except this is my standard non-spoiler review. I decided I'm going to continue to do those for people who are thinking about dropping the series and they want to know if it's worth continuing. I'm going to talk about those things in a non-spoiler fashion. I'm going to continue to do that all of the way. I'll be having a second review next week, and that'll be for Eaters of the Dead by Mr. Crichton. That was the read-along book for May, and a book I think has been very misunderstood by some people, but a lot of people have found a new love for it on this read-along, and I'm happy to talk about that. Of course, could always talk about Mr. Crichton. Then I will be having another Malazan. I know I don't try not to do these, you know, in the same week, but because of, you know, what happened in real life, some things happen. Anyway, I'll be closing out Memories of Ice by having my Malazan Veteran Talk, and my guest for this month is going to be A.P. Canavan. You guys know him. That's if you checked out his channel, A Critical Dragon, he just does really deep dives into Malazan, and he has a very close working professional and just a regular friendship with Mr. Erickson. So this is if you know anything about Malazan, you know who A.P. Canavan is. He is very much an authority on the topic, and I cannot wait to pick his brain about Memories of Ice. So that should be fun. We should be recording that this weekend, so that should come out sometime over the week. And if I have time, guys, I'm planning on getting out my Why You Should Read The Writer of Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan. I want to get that out before I talk to Mr. Sullivan here very, very soon. A great, great series, guys. I'm going to talk about why I think you would like it, why you should read it, because it's awesome, but there are more reasons than just because it is awesome. That's everything for books this week, guys. There are a couple of TV and movie things I want to talk about. I told you guys previously that we were doing our group watch. Me and some of my patrons were doing a group watch of Shadow and Bone on Netflix. Well, we went ahead and we wrapped that up, and believe it or not, we all actually really liked it. I think there was about 9 of us, and we all actually really liked it quite a bit. I said that I thought it would be better than the books, and damn it, I was right. You know, that the showrunner for that was one of the people who helped make Arrival by Denny V. Awesome movie. So I was like, I feel like the show is in good hands here. And I'm very much excited for season 2, which is amazing because the second book I did not care for at all. The first one I said, look, it has some good ideas, execution maybe not so much. Obviously in the show, they were executed really well. So I'm hoping they can find a way to make the storyline in book 2 better. And I think that will just be, we'll add more of the Six of Crows stuff in there, which I haven't read, which was really good. So Shadow and Bone, it's a recommend for me. Yeah, it's not Game of Thrones, guys. It's aimed at teenage audiences. If you've watched stuff on the CW before, I love The 100. I love Supernatural. I watched Green Arrow. I watched Flash. It's about like that. It just has a much bigger budget. So if you can't stand stuff like that, yeah, no, you're not going to have a good time. I recommend watching it with significant other, or watching it with a group of friends, and then it makes it really entertaining because it was for us. And I love my patrons for joining me on that because it was a lot of fun. We got to do all the good one-liners right when they were the funniest. Wheel of Time is officially greenlit for season 2 on Amazon. This isn't a surprise to me. I'm not trying to be a wet blanket with this, guys. I'm just saying, don't take that as, oh man, the first season must have completely blown away the execs or something like that. Financially speaking, when it comes to something that uses the kind of money that they're sinking into something like this, the set pieces, the costuming, the wardrobe, the locations, all that stuff, when they sink that kind of investment into it, it actually makes more sense to do 2 seasons because you're just losing money if you don't do at least 2 seasons. Most of these people were probably contracted for at least 2 seasons as well. So they have to pay that money regardless. So you're getting to season 3 with a show like that, that's when I think you can call it successful. Because, I mean, even Game of Thrones, remember when its first episode came out, the ratings weren't that great, and it got renewed for season 2, and people said, oh, okay, well, they must have confidence in it. Well, it turns out in the long run they did, but it wasn't the runaway success that people know it as now back then. So you're always probably going to get 2 seasons unless you're on Netflix, and that's never a given. But I wouldn't be celebrating yet. But again, I remain cautiously optimistic about it. We shall see. But I am glad that we'll at least probably get the storyline probably up until at least the Shadow Rising. So that should be very, very cool. I did want to talk real quick about the Conjuring 3 trailer. Now, I've talked about how a lot of horror movies going on right now, they don't really do a lot for me. There's a rare one. It's usually by A24, but I really enjoy the Conjuring universe. I feel like, are they, scary? No, I mean, not really. They're just your entertaining thriller kind of movies, and I love the stuff with Ed and Lorraine Warren. I always think that's really, really interesting, regardless of how you feel about them in real life or not. It's really interesting stories, and at the time, I was really big into James Wan stuff, and I just really liked that universe, and I love the 2 leads. I can't think of her name right now, but she's awesome. The actress that plays Lorraine in those movies. It was actually my headcanon for Moraine on Wheel of Time, and of course Patrick Wilson all the way back to Watchmen. I've been a fan of his career, so I like those 2 leads. I like this universe he put together, and you think about all the shared universes out there. Obviously, Marvel's the big one, but other ones that really haven't really gotten off the ground. I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong kind of has gotten that monster universe a little off the ground, but now they're talking about it's probably going to be ending. You think about the DC's been kind of hit or miss or whatever. The Universal monster one movie and it was over. And you think about the Conjuring movie universe. They've been doing Annabelle. They've been doing the Nun. They did Ya Llorona. All this stuff. So, I mean, they've had a successful universe, and it just people don't really talk about it that much. And those movies, they cost them like $10 million to make, and they make $150 million, which is just pure money for those guys. So I think they're enjoyable movies, and it's an enjoyable universe. And Conjuring 3 looks very, very cool. I mean, Conjuring 1, pretty good. Conjuring 2, I thought was excellent. So I'm hoping for the best here. The trailer looks really good. It looks like it's got some legit spooks in it, and I can't wait to check that out on HBO Max. They're continuing to crush it, you guys. And Dune's going to be coming out in October, but I will be paying to see that in the theater, in the loudest and biggest screen I could possibly find. But guys, that was my week. What are you guys up to? Drop in the comments. Let me know what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're listening to. No wrong answers. Have yourself a safe weekend, and I will talk to you there.